In this video, everyone, I'm going to show you how to start a motor in both clockwise and counterclockwise directions, which is also commonly known as direct online starting with reversal. We install the disconnect terminals on the lower section of the electrical panel and the final end stop for those terminals, the ground bus bar, the 3-pole circuit breaker, the 2-pole circuit breaker, the 2 contactor, and the tubular ferrule terminals. We begin by making the connections for the power circuit by connecting the 3-phase conductors along with the grounding conductor to the output terminals, and then we proceed to connect the 3 phases to the 3-phase circuit breaker while the grounding conductor is connected directly to the ground bus bar. Then we take the 3-phase conductors from the 3-phase circuit breaker and connect them to terminals 1, 3, and 5 of the first contactor, which is K1. From the input of the first contactor K1, we take the 3 phases and connect them to the second contactor, which is K2. We connect terminal 1 of contactor K1 with terminal 1 of contactor K2, terminal 3 of K1 with terminal 3 of K2, and terminal 5 of K1 with terminal 5 of K2. At the output of the first contactor, K1, we are going to reverse the phases. We connect terminal 2 of K1 with terminal 6 of K2, then terminal 4 of K1 with terminal 4 of K2, and finally terminal 6 of K1 with terminal 2 of K2. After performing this phase inversion, we then connect the thermal relay to the first contactor. Next, we take the 3-phase conductors from outputs 2, 4, and 6 of the thermal relay and connect them to the SACA terminals along with the grounding conductor. These conductors will then be connected to the motor. Now, we're going to build the control circuit. At the incoming side of the 3-phase circuit breaker, we then draw out 2-phase conductors and connect these to the upper terminals of the bipolar breaker for the control circuit. For each circuit, it is necessary to have a circuit breaker. For the power circuit, we install a 3-phase circuit breaker, and for the control circuit, we install a 2-phase circuit breaker because we are considering that the contactor coil's power supply is 220 volts phase to phase. We start the control circuit with the top circuit breaker. From its output, we connect a black phase directly to the A2 terminal of both contactors. The other phase, we will use the yellow color to better understand its connection with the thermal relay. Then we connect the other phase that comes from the 2-pole circuit breaker to terminal 95 of the normally closed contact of the thermal relay. Next, we connect the conductor to terminal 96 of the normally closed contact of the thermal relay, and then we proceed to connect it to terminal 1 of the red button, which is also normally closed. Using the same phase, however, we'll now change the wire color to red to connect to the start button of the first contactor, which is K1. Then we'll run the red conductor from terminal 2 of the red button and connect it to terminal 3 of the button that starts the motor clockwise. Also with the same phase, however, we're going to use the color purple and make the sealing contact for the first contactor, which will turn on the motor in the clockwise direction. At terminal 2 of the red button, we connect to terminal 13 of contactor K1, which is the auxiliary contact. At terminal 4 of the green button, we connect to terminal 14 of contactor K1. Now, with the 2 auxiliary contact blocks installed on each contactor, we are now going to implement the interlocking. This interlocking system will prevent both contactors from being energized simultaneously. We're going to use the normally closed contact of the auxiliary block, which has input 61 and output 62. We can observe that in this auxiliary contact block we have two contacts, one normally open whose input is 53 and whose output is 54, and another normally closed contact whose input is 61 and whose output is 62. What this means is that every auxiliary contact that ends with 3 and 4 is a normally open contact, and every contact that ends with 1 and 2 is a normally closed contact. So, in this case, the 53 and 54 terminals end with the digits 3 and 4, which means it's a normally open contact, and the 61 and 62 terminals end with the digits 1 and 2, which means it's a normally closed contact. From K1's terminal 14, we connect to terminal 61, which is the normally closed contact of K2's auxiliary block. We then exit terminal 62 and connect to the A1 of contactor K1. Now we're going to turn on the other green button in order to power up the motor in a counterclockwise direction. From terminal 13 of K1, we take the conductor and connect it to terminal 3 of K2, and from terminal 3 of the green button, which turns the motor counterclockwise, we take a conductor and connect it to terminal 3 of the green button, which turns the motor counterclockwise. From this same button, we exit with the wire at terminal 4 and connect it to terminal 14 of the auxiliary contact of the second contactor K2. From terminal 14 of K2, we connect a conductor and then connect it to terminal 61 of the normally closed contact on K1's auxiliary block, thereby interlocking the second contactor, which will prevent both contactors from being energized at the same time. So biasamaita martada musi impapande. We exited the terminal 62 from K1's auxiliary block and connected to A1 of the K2 contactor. Now, we're going to connect the indicator lights, which will show us when the meter is running in the clockwise or the counterclockwise direction. From the A1 terminal of each contactor, we'll take a conductor and connect it directly to the X1 terminal of each individual lamp. From the A2 terminal of contactor K2, which is also connected to the A2 of contactor K1, we'll run a conductor and connect it to the X2 terminal of both lamps. From the grounding bar, we run a grounding conductor and ground the panel and the panel cover. Now we can turn on the engine in the clockwise direction. Switch off the engine and then turn it on again in a counterclockwise direction. The button on the left activates the motor to spin in a clockwise rotation, and the button on the right activates the motor to spin in a counterclockwise rotation. Once the motor has already been engaged and is running, to reverse its operational direction, it is necessary to first power down the motor completely and then re-engage it. Attempting to press both of the motor's activation buttons simultaneously will not result in a reversal of its current direction because we have specifically implemented an interlocking safety mechanism. Please comment down below in the video, everyone, if you were left with any questions, and please go ahead and leave a like because it is very important for the channel here, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.